Hello, y'all. It's Kiki. Welcome to my Crackerjack Box. Mask Monday, obviously. I am using this mask right here. It is Callywessee. It's a coffee hydrating mask, which I find kind of funny because coffee is a diuretic, which means it takes the water out of your body. But, whatever. We'll go with it. You have to keep it on quite a long time, 30 minutes. So I probably will do my Mask Monday and then get off because I have another video to shoot. So here we go. So I decided this Mask Monday we were going to do a true crime type kind of thing. So I hope y'all are down with that. Let's see what we got here. Mask Monday. Okay, so y'all know how I'm all into true crime, right? Well, right now there is a mini series, I guess you could call it that, on Hulu entitled Candy. Now, this takes place here in Texas in the 80s in Ouly, Texas, which is not too far from me. Probably maybe 30 minutes maybe. Anyway, so Candy is Candace Montgomery, and she's this housewife that is like the perfect mother. She PTA, all the stuff. Making the lunch, doing the church thing, all the stuff, the good stuff, okay? And she's married to this man named Pat, and he's kind of this stuffed shirt, boring kind of guy. You know what I'm talking about. And anyway, she's bored with her love life and with her life, and so she decides that she wants to have an affair. Now, as we know, Candy's all about the specifics, so she decides there's going to be this affair. It's going to have rules and no feelings. And we all know where this is going, right? Okay, so anyway, it goes on, and she's trying to decide who she's going to, have the affair with. She plays volleyball, so she's looking at all the guys, and she decides on this guy named Alan Gore. Now, Alan Gore is also kind of a stuffed shirt, but he's really like a nice guy. But he's married to this lady named Betty. So her name's Betty Gore. Very boring housewife. I mean, we're talking not bored, boring. But the other thing too is she has some mental illness issues, and this is in no way shaming any mental illness. I'm just explaining what's going on. So she's kind of, she's kind of needy, and she's kind of she's one of those housewives. She calls his boss to tell him that he is not a good boss for sending Alan out on business trips because he knows that he's a family man and needs to be at home, like that kind of way. Anyway, and then when he goes, she cries, and it's kind of sad actually. They have 2 children, and they have a new baby. But anyway, so Candy decides she wants to have an affair with Alan. So she gets with Alan, and then they set the rules. Don't call the house. We're going to meet every other week. We're going to meet in a hotel room. We'll always pay cash. Yada, yada. So they're doing their thing. They're going about it. And Candy, in the meantime, befriends Betty and actually throws her baby shower and just pretty much like her only friend, okay? So they're going back and forth, they're meeting every week, and Candy falls in love with Alan. And even though they said that if there was any feelings, they would stop, they keep on until Alan and Betty go to a marriage encounter, which is in the church. It's kind of this weekend retreat where you kind of get to know your spouse again and fall in love and all this other stuff. So anyway, Betty and Alan go, and Alan decides that he wants to work on his marriage and he wants to stop the affair and all peaches and queen, right? No, it's not, because Candy is kind of bummed by this, not only because she's gonna be missing out on the hot sex life she was having, but also because now she has feelings for Alan. She's in love with him. So anyway, she's worried that he's told Betty about their affair and, her standing in the community and all that stuff. But he says he hasn't, and So they go on about their thing, and then let's see here. Okay, so during the summer, it's after they have Bible school. It's the last day of Bible school, and Candy goes over to Betty's house to get a swimsuit for Betty's daughter, who's staying the night with Candy's daughter. And so then you see her go through the door, and the door shuts. And then the next thing you see is she comes out of, and she's driving her car to her house. She's all wet, and she's got a cut on her head, and just, so forth. So the rest of the miniseries is how it plays out, where Candy has killed Betty, and she's trying to play it off, and all this stuff, like, basically like, oh, who would do that, and that kind of thing. Anyway, so the series kind of goes through and talks about what's going on with that, and then they figure out that that Candy actually or they believe she's the one that killed Betty, and she's arrested, and there's a trial, and yada yada yada. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so I'm gonna tell some spoilers here. So this is your spoiler alert. If you don't want to know the ending, you need to turn off the video now. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of my video today, my Mass Monday. And remember, Kiki loves you. Okay, now, for those who want to know what happens. So she goes to trial, right? And she says it was self-defense. She said Betty came after her with an axe first. And so they were fighting and whatever. And then apparently Betty told her to shh, which was some kind of thing that happened to her in her childhood that triggered her to lose control and see red. And she hit Betty with the axe 41 times. And then she knew that she couldn't tell anybody what happened because no one would believe her, and so forth and so on. And so they go through the trial. And even Alan at the trial is like, he says, we stopped the affair mutually. He's still friendly with Candace, so forth and so on. Even though he didn't have anything to do with it, I think that he feels like he benefited from her taking Betty's life because, now he doesn't have to be in a marriage with a neurotic, mentally ill wife. Again, not mentally shaming or mental illness shaming, just saying what happened. So the jury finds her not guilty, that she actually acted in self-defense. I was floored. Anyway, so that in the end, Alan moves away, Candace moves away. It doesn't say if they ever have anything to do with each other or talk to each other or whatever. Candy ends up getting divorced and becomes a mental health counselor. Yeah. So that's the end. So my review is it's really good. I think it's really good. You got to watch it, though, because it goes back and forth and back and forth. As far as like the timeline, you'll see something happen now and then they'll go back to something, and you just got to pay attention. But the only thing I think it was too short. It was only 5 episodes, and I think that it probably should have been 8 maybe. So I give it like a 4 out of 5 just because of I feel like some of it was hurried, like the trial and that kind of stuff, all hurried into one episode. I just think that it should have taken longer. But what do I know? Anyway, so that's my review of Candy. Again, I would if you have Hulu, totally watch it. It's very good. I binge watched the whole thing. Well, actually I didn't, because they were letting it 1 episode a day, and I started on a Thursday, so then I had to wait for the Friday. But you can binge watch it now because it's all 5 episodes out there. So yeah, so pretty good review. But interesting true crime happened in Ouly, Texas in the 80s. Down here, I'm in Texas, and I know where Ouly is. I had a friend that lived there. I know about the church and how that becomes a big part of your life, and so forth. Anyway, so if you're joining me for the first time, thank you for joining me. I probably should have said this in the beginning, because if you stopped watching, you know, whatever. Anyway, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber yet, consider hitting that subscribe button and hit that bell. Get all the notifications, because YouTube's doing some weird stuff now, so they may show you, they may not, even though they say they do. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so join me again for another Mask Monday next week, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. And remember, Kiki loves you.